Good morning, guys. Welcome to Sunday Morning Stories. Let's sit back, relax, have a cup of hot tea, and let's get started. Sunday Morning Stories is dedicated to the class of 2020. You guys went through so much with, starting your life basically with 9/11, and you went through so much, especially with the coronavirus affecting all your senior plans. My heart goes out to you. And many of y'all actually had these drive-through graduation. That's pretty cool, if I had to say so myself. Virtual and other modes of alternatives for graduation. So again, my heart goes out to class of 2020. In which case, this Sunday Morning Stories is about graduation. I graduated high school in 2017, so it's about roughly 3 years ago. Yeah? Probably kind of wondering, what was your graduation experience? Is it anything fun? Is it just everyone how it was expected? Well, let's just say this. It is memorable. Out of all the memories I had in high school, yes, I had a lot of great memories, and for those who've already seen previous ones, I had some bad ones. But graduation really holds it in. It's a really great capstone. So leading up to it, I knew that I was going to graduate on time because, I followed the, I'm pretty sure in high school, I knew that in high school, they had kind of a strategy on how to graduate, English, science, math, 3 years, and then how many classes, whatever. So I followed that strategy planning map down to a T in high school because I thought, oh, this is how you do it. Okay. And so by senior year, the only requirement classes I needed to take was an American government class and English 12. And those classes I really don't want to do. And then the rest of the classes, I just did electives. That was really fun. And then the last semester, we did semesters. We didn't do terms like I do in college. So in the last semester, it was really fun because it was I had all these classes, and then the last two classes, 6th period and 7th period, I was assisting. I was assisting in 6th period, I was assisting in the attendance office. In 7th period, I was assisting in the future center. You're possibly wondering why I should have just left. Well, somebody didn't get their driving license by then. But yeah. So yeah, it was really great. It was a great plan that I had, because it was actually, it battles my senioritis. By that point, senioritis is actually really big, and by the end of the year, and I had senioritis when I was a junior, but I didn't get one when I was a senior, thank goodness. But I know my best friend did, big time. And so yeah, it was tip for juniors out there watching this. If you want to battle senioritis next year, take some assisting classes. Be a TA or assist the library or assist anywhere, really. So that was really fun. I mean, I get to go around campus and pass papers around and all that. So yeah, I knew exactly, I'm going to graduate. There was no doubt in my mind I'm not graduating. It wasn't like college where it's so sketchy of oh, when am I going to graduate? That kind of thing, because of my classes and whatnot. So that's that. And so my last week was whoa, to be honest. I remember it being I can kind of imagine a big, huge ball just circled around that week. 4 days before I graduated, I finally got my license to drive, and then a couple days later, on, what was it? It wasn't on the last day, but it was on senior day, which is the day before graduation. That's when I drove myself to school for the very first time. That was, I when I got my license, I knew I was going to pass. I only missed like two, so it was like no big deal. It was like, I missed two. What the heck? I'm not as smart as my mom. And then the last day was Thursday, and what they did on the last day for seniors is that they decorated, like, not the entire school, that would be crazy, but they decorated the main office, the attendance office, the counseling office, the main offices, I think in the Future Center as well. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, they decorated those places. And that, for me, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, it's really happening. And the entire week I've been planning on this speech to my first love. So I managed to locate him in the library, and I pulled him out and told him how much he meant to me all those years. Which, by the way, by, I don't know, end of the year, end of the summer, or beginning of the school year, I'll be talking about my first love. And it was tumultuous, to be honest. So that's happened, and so that was kind of like, a breath of fresh air. I finally get to tell him how much he meant to me. So that was like, whoa, that was crazy that I did that. And Friday, yes, I drove myself to school. And the funny thing about that was when I was, so imagine that. Your dad is pulling out. He's about to pull out. You're getting everything situated in your cute little car. Your mom pulled up. Your mom just ran towards the driver's side of the window. That's my mom. So my mom came up and I rolled down my window and she was like, "Be careful, okay?" She was like at the verge of crying. And I'm like, "Mom, I'll be fine. Don't worry." So I drove, and I remember just driving in the residential area, and I was like, I'm doing fine. And then when I turned on, what was it, Pettigrew? Yeah, Pettigrew Road, I hysterically laughed, like, I was like, oh my gosh, I am driving on a main road, the very first time by myself, woohoo! It was really fun, and, I possibly had a little oops there where it's like, there may be a little mistake in a four-way intersection or a roundabout on my way to school, but other than that, what I meant oops as in, like, I didn't crash. So on senior day, what we did was, we go into the main gym, everybody, and we get into our groups, and then we rehearse one last time for that assembly, which that assembly kind of transitioned to the actual graduation ceremony. And then we did that and rehearsed anything that we need to be rehearsed in the auditorium. And then when we got back, that was when we dressed up in our cap and gown. And luckily, I brought my, I don't have it with me. I have this orange cord. So in case what you're wondering about the orange cord for Bend Senior High is, it's actually, there's a multitude of reasons why you got the orange cord, but the reason why I got that orange cord was because I did woodworking and, woodworking for 2 years, basically. So that's how I got the orange cord. It wasn't intentional that I wanted to get the orange cord, but I got an orange cord. And that was, like, the coolest thing ever. That I got a cord. I didn't get any other cords beside that one. And I think it was an easy one to get. And, cap and gown, tassel, that thing right there. And I I remember the kids just looking at high school, and I thought I would never get there. It's out of my mind. And then I'm there, cap and gown. I just couldn't believe it. And so the whole senior assembly, it was the longest assembly we've ever had the entire year. The reason why, you're wondering, is because we're passing out scholarships. The only scholarship I had was a merit scholarship from COCC, which is the first school out of 3 schools I went to in my college career. And I remember going up and I got stuck in the stairs. I was like, oh no! And my cap was falling off, and it was a mess. I just wanted to ditch that cap because it just can't fit in my head. But I learned from that mistake to graduation to get like 4 bobby pins, so it's stuck in my head, so I don't have to worry too much about it. And so that was, and then at the end of senior assembly, I drove home, and then me and Mom, for the very last time, we went to, it was a candy / ice cream store called Goodies down at kind of a shopping district in Southeast Bend. So I get to have edible cookie dough. So that was that, and then graduation day, that was the next day. So when did my uncle and aunt came? I think they came the night before, yeah. And that day I was like, okay, I don't want to do anything, and I just recently got hired as a swim instructor, and I remember my supervisor, and she was like, hey, would you like to shadow for us? And I said, I can't, I'm graduating today. And she totally understands it. It was hilarious. And but yeah, it was like I dolled up. So the dress I wore was actually the same dress I wore to when I was homecoming princess, which I will talk about later in the year. And that was, wearing my homecoming dress as like the official, my mom got really super emotional as we pulled into the school and we knew that we were going to like be on the bus and go to the venue where graduation was, but we didn't know that we were going to get a police escort. And when my mom saw that, she started crying. I'm like, Mom, it's okay. Don't know. But she had a pretty emotional year that year, anyway. And with her baby graduating, driving, all that jazz, I gotta give her a break somehow. And so yeah, it was super cool to have a police escort all the way to the Bank of Cascades Arena at the Expo Center in Redmond, Oregon. That's a mouthful, right? So yeah, it was a very formal kind of event when it comes to like graduation. Like I remember my principal saying, when we're doing rehearsals, like, make a lasting impression. You already made your first impression here in the school. Make your lasting impression. And I know there was cameras there. And when we were walking down, I kind of got a little emotional walking down the stairs, and I know there was a camera there. So I gave him a little wink to give a lasting impression, like they don't know that. I was like... So that was the last impression on the Lava Bear community. And I got my... there's a lot of things going in my head, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to fall. And I'm pretty sure that was my best friend's thought too. Like, I don't want to fall, because she was that girl that tends to fall. But yeah, none of us fell, and everything went well. And then it was such a pain in the ass just trying to get out of the venue, because it was like, a blockage of cars getting out at the same time. It was terrible. I think it's worse than Portland traffic, to be honest. So I managed to get there, redo my makeup to a casual look, dress down, because I had to go to not only 2 graduation parties, but 3. So I went to my neighbor Colleen's graduation party. I stayed there for a little bit, and then I went to Bud's graduation party, and then I had to go to this graduation party that the school provided, and that was an overnighter. So that one's a big one that I had to go to, and I love those kind of parties. It sounds like it's really fun, and where the venue is really fun. And man, it was when we were there, it was so much fun. There was a water park. There was like a ropes course. There's so much thing to do for like an overnighter kind of thing. But we didn't stay overnight. It was an all-nighter kind of gig. What I remember is that they have at the water park, they have kind of this rock that resembles like the rocks from Hawaii that you jump off of. I thought, hey, let me try it, and I was at the top, and it was kind of high up. I was like, oh no. But I feel like if I turn around, some of the guys that I know down there are going to be like, come on, Wangler, do it. So I jumped anyways. I was like, I jumped like 4 or 5 times and called it good. And I remember one of the guys, he was the most cocky dude ever. I think he still is. His name's Bogey. And I think he was trying to do a backflip or a front flip, and I was down below. He was up at the rocks. I was like, come on, do it, buddy. And he was like, I'm too scared. But yeah, it was really fun until it got cold. And then we drove back to, so in case where it is, it's actually Washington Family Ranch in the middle of nowhere, Central Oregon. Easy as that. Or Eastern Oregon, depending on where you see it. And so we got home, and Mom picked me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I basically took like a 6-hour nap, and I knew like later in the afternoon I had my graduation party, and I was like sleeping, and Mom was like, come on, wake up, people are coming. I'm like, Mom, just don't wake me up like that. So I don't know if I like got ready or whatever I did. Maybe did my makeup or something. And Mom was like, we have a surprise for you. And I'm like, great. I hate surprises, to be honest. So I had my eyes closed, so she navigates me out of the bathroom, down the stairs, and into the main entryway. I opened the door. There was my boyfriend Brandon at the time, and I just rushed towards him. And yeah, we had I think out of all the parties that we had in that house, I think my graduation party was the biggest. And from what my parents told me was the last guest that left was the same guest that arrived early. So that was, it was pretty fun. And my dad was about to give this speech, like saying, hey, thank you. I'm so proud of our daughter. And he got choked up. He is like a man's man. He doesn't get choked up very easily. So easy as that. And so yeah, it was a really jam-packed weekend, to be honest. And that was yeah, it's something I always remembered for a very long time. And I love telling this story about my graduation. And I feel like, class of 2020, you will be able to share that experience instead of just saying, oh, my graduation was ruined. You can say like, hey, we got a drive-through graduation, which is kind of cool. I mean, for me, looking at it, I mean, to be honest, I'm a little jealous that you guys got like a drive-through graduation. That is like the coolest thing ever, I think. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. The next one is going to be another one of those, graduation themed, but it's going to be, a grade younger. And we're going to talk about eighth grade celebration. Woohoo! So this one's kind of for all the eighth graders out there. So stay tuned.